And right here we got Jack Starr. Which song are we playing right now to get things going here?
We're going to play a song called False Messiah. And that was one of, excuse me, that's off of Jack Starr and Burning Starr featuring Rhett Forrester, great singer. We're going to go ahead and play that, and then we'll be right back with Jack Starr here in just a few minutes. Don't go
All right,
anywhere.
well, let's do this thing.
Joy to the land.
Thunder.
Good.
I am here, man. That was ridiculous, man.
And how you doing, Jack?
Very good, man. Happy to be on the show. Who am I talking to? Is this Will?
I'm Will, and the other guy's Thunder.
I am
right.
Kevin Thunder, man.
All
Better
right,
known
well,
as a Thunder Midget.
Sounds good. Nice talking to both of you.
Nice talking to you too, man. That's ridiculous, man. I mean, just phenomenal guitar playing right there.
Wow. Well, I'm still learning, but I tell you, I listened back to it, and I was actually like surprised, when they reissued it, and because I went through a lot of masters and listening to a lot of different takes and all that, and I was like thinking, damn, I wasn't too bad, because we're talking 1984, so it's like, okay, it wasn't bad for back then.
Well, the one thing that you just said that really got me right there is that, you're still learning, and as a musician, you got to keep it up right there, because as I was talking earlier on the show with Will right there, you never know. There's a 15-year-old in a garage somewhere that's 10 times better than anybody, like anything that came out of nowhere, and it's just amazing. And to think that you're the best,
right?
That's when you don't put your guitar down and call it a day. You'll get a job at Best Buy because you don't need to play anymore. But yeah, it's just amazing.
Well, it's funny you mentioned like 15-year-olds. Man, there's a 12-year-old in Orlando. I was just on YouTube just like 2 days ago, and this kid's phenomenal. I mean, even his originals are great, and he's like 12.
Yeah, well, Orlando, Cocoa Beach, Merritt Island, that's our hometown right there. Bill and I both grew up in Merritt Island. So, that's our stomping grounds right there.
Oh, that's fantastic. Where am I calling now?
Actually, you're talking to you're talking to two places right now. Bill lives in North Carolina, and I live right outside of Memphis. So, and I know your new gig is a blues band, Jack Starr blues band, and Memphis is the kind of the house of the blues of really. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I like all kinds of music, like blues. Of course, I've always liked blues, even when I was just totally doing metal. But the main thing I do really is metal, and trying to get some other things going. When I play local gigs, I do bluesy kind of stuff. And I'm actually working on a totally different project right now with a singer named Sybil that was really known for jazz, but I kind of got her out of the jazz thing, and we're kind of forging a new, different kind of music,
Well, I love jazz because I have a family member that was a big jazz player, jazz writer, and was with a jazz rock band in the 60s and 70s.
Oh, really? What were they called?
Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Oh, okay. There you go. That was like the definitive, jazzy rock band of that era.
Them in Chicago, the horns and all that. I mean, it was beautiful. I'll never forget, Bill and I were like 13 years old, and we first started our first band, and my uncle, who was their keyboard player and trombone player, was in town. I'm like, oh, you got to come see our band.
Right,
we got a band together. And we did nothing but make noise in a garage. And he's like, yeah, guys, keep practicing. And our singer's like, so what's the biggest show you ever played? And he's like, I guess it had to be Woodstock. And at that point in my life, time stopped. And I'm like, my uncle played at Woodstock. And, right there, it was awesome. And then, graduating high school, I went out to L.A. for 2 weeks and got to meet some people that he knew. And look, it's a... It's kind of crazy right there. But, when you said jazz, I love the jazz sound right there.
Right. Well, my feeling really is that I don't really like to categorize, different music. I just think there's either good music or bad music. And for me, the good music generally has one component, that being music that's played from the heart, music that is sincere, and music that, you can feel the passion of whoever it is that's singing or playing, behind the music, So
Absolutely.
When that occurs, whether it's punk music like the Sex Pistols or whether it's blues, like Stevie Ray Vaughan or heavy metal, like Iron Maiden, you can hear the sincerity, or Dylan, strumming a guitar and with a harmonica wrapped around him,
Old, slow Eric Clapton. And, I mean, it's just that feeling where
there's
there's a truth to it.
Exactly. And
that's
you can
music.
hear that. you can hear that a mile away when someone is delivering that kind of. And I think that the thing with what I do is that everything that I've ever done has had that. And some of the people that have, like reviewed, my albums and written articles about me or what have you, they've always come back to the fact that they like the sincerity, the passion in what I do. And then some people, will say, well, they like that better than, the technical guitar players that, know every scale in the book and can play every arpeggio, because I certainly don't know all the arpeggios. So I'm actually more technical than people realize, but
I can agree with you 100%.
Yeah, but not to the level of not to the level of like the guy from Yes or somebody like that. I mean, I've seen him do a seminar. I don't even know the guy's name. Steve Howe, I think, is it? Is it Steve Howe, the guitar player from Yes?
Yeah.
Bill, you'd know better than I do.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I saw him do a seminar. I mean, the guy was just an encyclopedia of every, scale and every guitar, song ever written. I'm not like that. I would rather hang on 3 notes.
Well, it was like a band that I knew back in Central Florida back in the day when I started playing music. Was a local band, and they had 2 different guitar players. One played with heart. And he was as good as the other guitar player.
Right.
Maybe not as technical. Did not do the solos as technical. The scales weren't as robotic.
What's the name of the band?
Great guitar players. AWOL.
Let me guess. Don't tell me the name of the band. Are you talking about a band called Stranger?
No, I'm not talking about Stranger, but close. But Stranger's the same way. But Stranger was fantastic. This is even a smaller band than that called AWOL. They had a guitar player named Pete Brado who was he wasn't robotic, but he was perfect. He was perfect on his scales. And just melodic and perfect. But they had a guitar player before that, Eric Mankey, that was more heartfelt. And when he played a solo, it was like, listen here, right now, you're going to feel this. You're not going to hear this.
Right. And that's what I like.
Both they're as good as each other, don't get me wrong, but the one touched me more, Eric touched me more than Pete did. I was like, man, I can feel that right there. I mean, that's right there, it gives you an emotion.
Well, I'll always remember this one guy wrote an article about my band and about me in a German magazine, and he said this quote, and I'll always remember, he said, he goes, Jack is the remedy for the heartless technicians that play guitar. If you're sick of them, listen to Jack Starr. And I was like, whoa, this guy gets me.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Well, that's kind of...
That's like my opinion.
Weird.
I have a question for you, Jack, real quick, and I'm sorry, Bill, to interrupt you. Now, I'm a bass player.
Right.
I have a hard time not respecting, but playing the same style as Billy Sheehan.
Right.
Because I feel that he is a guitar player with 4 strings. I play with my fingers, and I play with heart, and I play with the drums, and I'm not trying to show out as much.
Right. You like to?
Is that understandable to you? Do you understand what I'm?
Yeah, and that's the kind of bass player that I like to play with, and that's the bass player that I have in Burning Starr. I mean, Ned locks in with Rhino, and they create this incredible groove, and it's an iron-tight groove, and then you can sink your teeth into it as a guitar player. And for a vocalist, it's really, really crucial because you need that foundation if you're going to do a good vocal melody or a good guitar solo. And
you got to know where the stops and starts are. I mean,
right. And I mean, there's bass players like that, that play like that style. So I played with a bass player. I even did an album with a bass player who had a whammy bar on his bass.
That's awesome. I used to play with a wah-wah pedal. What was the pedal? Not a wah-wah pedal, a flanger.
But,
just to give it a better sound.
But I also played with an incredible bass player that was like Mr. Groovemeister. He played in Foghat and did 10 albums with Foghat. And I was in a band with Greg McGregor for about a year and a half. And I would just be mesmerized looking at this guy play and thinking, wow, I'm sharing the stage with this guy, that's sold like 40 million albums, And it really was just amazing to do shows with this guy and to hear. And a lot of what he did appeared to be simple, but it wasn't.
Oh, yeah, no, there's nothing simple about playing bass guitar. That's what really
Right.
Yes, to me. You see a lot of people like, oh, you're just a bass player, but you don't understand right here. This is the foundation right here. You have a drum set that's making noise right here and keeping a rhythm. You have someone over here who's making the melody. Your job is to be the key master and try and bring that together.
That's right.
Without being too obnoxious.
I wish all bass players could hear your words of wisdom right now.
You know what? Am I right? I mean, you're the foundation right there. Your job is to connect those two things together. And that's what I've always tried to do as a bass player. And you know what? Everybody I've ever played with is like, look, man, the drummers love me, the guitar players love me, the singers love me. I'm not the best player out there. By the
important thing is, do hot-looking chicks love you? That's the important thing. No,
they always have. They always have. I'm the sucker bitch, man. Come on now.
There you go, brother. All right, and on that note, talking about bass players, I'm sitting here with Ned. Tonight is our rehearsal night. Me and him have been working on this album for like the last, 6 months, and we're like in the home stretch. We're going to be going into the studio soon. But with Rhino, with Todd, it's the exact same lineup that we had, and we got a lot of good stuff going on since last year. We're going to be headlining 2 festivals in Europe. Which,
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, just to get to even though they're mid-level festivals, I mean, it's not Wacken, it's not Bang Your Head, but they're good mid-level festivals, and we're headlining, so we're pretty psyched about that we got to that point.
You're playing, man. That's what it's all about right there.
Yeah,
I'm sitting at home right now talking on the radio with you, wishing I was there playing with you right now.
I appreciate that, man. And here's the other thing. And we even got a festival that we're going to do in America, which is like going to be our first major festival in America. It's called 80s in the Park, and that's coming up. I don't know what month. September. Yeah, it's coming up in September, and that's going to be in Florida. So, and that's actually thanks to a good buddy of ours named Charles Knight, who helped us get that gig, and it was kind of cool because when I first saw the first publicity for it, we were right next to this band called Zebra that I kind of grew up with on Long Island. They were like the Beatles of Long Island. It was Zebra and the Good Rats. And Virgin Steele, which was my first band, we were kind of like the band that everybody heard about and everybody loved, but we weren't playing gigs every week. We were playing gigs maybe like every month or every month and a half, and we were going to Europe, and our albums were coming out in Europe on import. And but Zebra is going to be one of the stars of this festival. And the weird thing is, like 9 months ago, I did a show in Baltimore for it's a charity called Fallen Blue, and they help the wives of police officers that were killed in the line of duty.
Nice.
And Twisted Sister, the drummer AJ Pero, and singer from Journey, and a whole bunch of people. Anyway, I got asked to do it, and so I did it. I went up there and I performed, and it was weird because I had lived on Long Island. Okay, this is really funny, for like my whole life pretty much, and I had never really, gotten close to Randy from Zebra. We never really talked a lot. We did a bunch of shows together, but never really talked. And then here we are in Baltimore like 9 months ago, and we got to really be friendly. And now it turns out we're going to be doing a show, and they're going to be there. And I think the guy from Rat, Steve Percy, and a bunch of other guys. So it's going to be a cool show.
I'm going to try my damnedest to get down to that 80s in the Park.
Yeah, you really should. You really should.
Where are you guys doing that in Florida? You guys doing that in Melbourne?
That's going to be in Melbourne at the, I think, Wickham Park.
Wickham Park. Look, I know it very well. I mean, that's my, as I said, that's our stopping grounds. When you say you're doing that in September, I'm gonna try and get down there too, man.
Yeah, it's going to be very cool. It's not really our first festival in America, but it's definitely going to be our biggest American festival. I mean,
it's a great venue. Great venue.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've done some other
man.
festivals, like I've done the Metal Mayhem Festival. I did the one in Asbury Park. They have a festival.
Yeah.
I did that one. I did the one in Maryland. I did some other ones, but but this is bigger because they had like 12,000 people last time, which totally shocked me.
I saw that you were born in Paris.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
And you grew up in New York.
And I grew up in New York. Yeah, I came to America when I was 10 years old. Did not speak a word of English until I was 10.
Really?
No. And what happened is, my dad was an American GI in the Air Force, the American Air Force. I got to clarify that. No, he wasn't in the French Air Force. He was in the American Air Force, and I was born on a military base. So, I was born in France, but I was also an American citizen.
Off the bat, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. And then 10 years later, my dad, told my mom, hey, we're going back to America. And it was like, America, cool, that's where they have rock and roll, and that's where they have hamburgers.
And you ended up in New York, of all places.
Of all places, right. And,
that's lovely. I was born in New York, but I was born in the country.
You were born in New York?
Yeah, the country part, though, upstate.
Okay, like upstate, right.
Exactly, yeah. I wasn't born in the city, Yeah.
Oh, cool.
They're like, look at the fucking rednecks right there. Yeah.
You were born in Italy? That's cool. Well, what was good for me is, I just learned how to speak English through, television. Watching all these, dumb television shows, like Gilligan's Island and all that stuff. And
you call everybody Skipper and shit? That's crazy.
So within, within 6-7 months, I was speaking English. But I think it's easier when you're really young to learn a language.
Absolutely.
I have an older brother, right? He still speaks with a French accent. He's 5 years older than me. And, he'll talk to me and he goes, Jacques, can you tell me, please, what is going on? He's got that French accent.
Right.
And that could have been me. I could have been like, I can't even do a good French. I can't even do a good French accent.
I know, but it doesn't matter when you're a musician, and I don't understand this. Well, you can hear somebody sing on the radio, and everybody sounds American. Everybody sounds American until they talk. I'm like, that fucker's British. That guy is from Australia. That guy's from France.
That guy's from Germany.
Why is that?
The first
I
time,
don't know why that is.
Yeah, the first time I heard Klaus Meine, the singer from the Scorpions, he was getting interviewed, and he sings English beautifully,
he sounds like he's an American.
Right. And then you hear him talking, and it's like he's got a thick German accent, Oh, we are so happy to be here on MTV.
We made this music right here is because we like the way the guitar sounds this way. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell just happened here?
I know.
A minute ago, you're like, it totally blows my mind. I mean, and that's every genre of music, whether it's country or not. There's this new guy, Keith Urban, who sounds totally American. He looks like an American, sounds like an American. Stop singing, you give an interview. That's great. He's like, all right, where's the kangaroo popping out of your ass? What's going on here?
I know. Well, Australia is like the 52nd state anyway. They're very similar to America. But, getting back to the whole European thing, I think the interesting thing for me is, growing up in Europe really exposed me to, a lot of classical music and European music. And if I had just grown up in America, I think that I would be playing a different kind of music because I didn't even really hear rock and roll till I was about 10 years old. I was, in Europe, they play, classical music on the radio, and all kinds of, different kind of music,
Yeah, but
you're getting feedback in the microphone or something.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is that better? Is that better?
That is.
Okay. Well, Well, you would have been playing different. You probably would have been more like the Sex Pistols, maybe.
Yeah,
because they listen to the same kind of music, but what they did is all right, well, we're gonna play this kind of music, we're gonna speed it up a little bit here, and we're hop the drums up a little bit, and we'll see what happens here.
Right, or I would have been.
Or you've been the Beatles,
Maybe, or I think I would have sounded more like Dokken, or for me, bands that sound really American would be Dokken, Motley Crue, Poison, Great White. Those are very American-sounding bands. Bands that sound English. What?
That's a great thing you're talking about Poison here. Tomorrow my sons are going to school and they're having Spirit Week at school, and it's 80s week, and I've got them both dressed up like Poison.
You gotta take pictures. Post it on Facebook, man.
I will post it on Facebook. Look, I've got one with a mullet wig that I've got a bandana around, and he's got the cut-off shirt with lightning bolts and everything, bandanas around his hands and everything, jeans tucked into his boots, ready to roll, and he just thinks it's the coolest thing. He's not left the mirror for like 2 hours. He's like, devil horns, look at me. I'm 10 years old. I'm like, here, let me play you a song. Here's a little Poison right here. Here's a little Motley Crue. Here's a little Crimson Glory. And they're like, oh, that's cool. I'm like,
Poison,
that was
Motley
your dad.
Crue, Crimson Glory. There's a lineup.
I think they were in Florida.
I just give a bunch of little.
They were
from Florida, Crimson Glory. I think they were from Florida, right?
They were, and they broke up, and their lead singer is now the lead singer of Queensryche.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Todd LaTorre. Hey,
well,
we've got a Todd too.
Queensryche's a great band, but the band of my choice, I think, is the most ridiculous band ever is Dream Theater, and the drummer Mike their old drummer Mike was ridiculous.
Right. So what other songs?
I love him to death, but I'd hate to play with him because I don't think I can play offbeats like that. I don't know if I can do that.
Well, it's pretty difficult to do that. So what other songs from us do you like? Ned, my bass player over here, just asked me, because we always like to ask people, like, which songs got to you? Which songs did you guys, particularly dig?
Well, there was a reason why I played False Messiah first. I mean,
False Messiah, okay.
I totally dug that. That was, I like the guitar licks, basically the groove of the riff and whatnot.
Right.
I just like the way that it flowed. The next one that I want to play is the Sands of Time song.
Love that song. I think that I'll tell you what I really like about it. If I can critique my own stuff real quickly, I like the fact that during the lead solo, instead of just going nuts and playing a real speedy lead solo, I did the exact opposite. The band went into halftime for the lead, and I purposely played really slow and melodic.
Yeah, I have an original like that too. It's a cheesy little ballad, but the solo in it, I mean, it's nothing special, nothing flashy or anything like that. It's just a really slow, but it fits the song perfectly, and that's probably like it's my favorite solo that I've got recorded.
That's cool.
If I can cut in right now, I'm going to tell you right now, the bass playing in the background, I just love the sound of that right there. I mean. Okay.
You hear bass playing in the background? Okay, hold on. Let's hold on. I want you to say hi to Ned because he is over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you guys are interrupting our rehearsal, but that's okay. Here's Ned.
I'm sorry, man.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Ned, man? How you doing, brother?
Yeah, pretty good.
Man, I just heard you jamming out a little bit right there.
Yeah, I was just playing along the False Messiah that you just played.
Well, right on, man. Well, welcome into the show, man. Glad to hear from you, brother. I'm a mutual bass player myself, man.
Oh, cool. Where are you guys based out of?
Actually, I'm in Memphis, Tennessee right now, and he's in North Carolina.
I'm in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
That's a good portion of the country covered there.
Yes, it is. We grew up in the Melbourne, Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral area right there.
Oh, did you really? Yeah, cool.
Yes, we did, man. I graduated Merritt Island High School in '91, man. Met Bill at the age of 13, and we played in bands there and all the different clubs around there up until the time we were about 25 years old, man.
Well, yeah, there's still some of those places kicking around. Coconuts.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely, coconuts and
the Hustler.
You know
the Hustler.
The Hustler's still around. Yes, sir.
They changed names, but we've done a bunch of warm-up shows there before we go to Europe.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, Ned, where are you from originally, man?
I'm from Massachusetts originally.
How'd you get down to Florida, man?
Good old Boston. Actually, I originally wound up in Florida in the late 80s, just from hooking up with Paul Chapman from UFO.
Okay.
Took guitar lessons from him at Florida Discount.
There you go. Yeah, and I actually taught at Florida Discount back in those days too.
Maybe that's where I recognize your name from, because when Jack told me that his bass player Ned Maloney, I'm like, that name sounds familiar. I know that name.
Yeah,
we know a lot of the guys from back in the day, man. They're Dead Serious and AWOL and Tin Can Jets and all that shit back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. Back in, I was here from like 87 through 90, working with Paul and teaching at Florida Discount, which they're still there.
Were you
right there in the corner?
Yep, still there. Yep. Different owners. They actually serve beer now. You should come down.
Really?
Florida Discount Music serves beer?
Yeah, they got a little club in there. It's pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome right there. I have to check that out. I was down there not too long ago and drove right past some place. I went to my buddy's house in Palm Bay and
yeah, they actually had a sign up recently saying that they, come on in, we serve beer, something like that.
That's awesome,
now,
man.
I would think that Jerry Sale of East Coast Music would have thought of that before Florida Discount.
Which one?
East Coast Music.
East Coast Music and Cocoa Beach,
oh, yeah?
the pawn shop that was there.
Yeah,
you'd have come up with that first, but anyway, yeah, it's awesome, man. So, you guys playing this big gig here in Melbourne here not too long from now, at Wickham Park.
Yeah, it should be great. I mean, actually, the one they just did a couple months back, I'm sure that it was kind of a leap of faith to see if it worked, but actually Jack and I went there, and Paul for that matter, we all went over there and we were like kind of just guests in a little autograph booth and whatnot. But we saw people coming from all over the state, which was really cool. It wasn't just a local show. I mean, there was 10, 12,000 people there coming from all over,
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Awesome.
Which is nice.
Thor,
for the Melbourne
Thor
area, get something like that going.
Thor played that show too.
Yeah.
John Michael Thor.
In fact. Yep. Yeah, Jack's good friends with the drummer from that band because he's from New York originally.
Oh, okay.
Thor.
Yeah, I reviewed the Rock and Roll Nightmare movie on my blog, and because I came across it and I started watching it and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna have to review this because it is so basically it's a bad B movie basically. But I mean, I liked it though. So I mean, I wasn't really trashing the movie in my review. I liked it. I enjoyed it. For the campiness and the corniness of it. I posted it on John's Facebook page, and he actually reposted it and liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see this. That's another band that I would like to see in concert.
On a different note, real quick, you said you're from Boston, right?
Yeah.
So you're a Patriots fan, aren't you?
Yes, I have to admit to that. Yeah.
Ah, God bless America.
Well,
we love you. We're from Florida. We're from Florida, and we hate you because of that. But we love your bass playing.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
we're used to being hated at this point up there,
All's fair in love in war, and all's fair in love in football too. So, as Dolphin fans, I hope Brady breaks a shin or something. But I didn't mean to say that out loud. I really did not mean to say that out loud. I really don't wish any injury to him, but anyway.
Yeah.
God bless. I just wish that, the Dolphins and the Patriots were playing in the AFC Championship. Like back in the day it was the Dolphins and the Bills. But anyway, we have our wishes, we have our dreams, and you're on the top of that one right there.
Well, you guys get to play spoiler that one week. I think they'd be at home if it wasn't for the Dolphins.
Oh yeah, we beat you, and then we couldn't beat the Bills or the Jets 2 weeks in a row, like we were indolent on hover rounds. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yep.
But anyway, congratulations, and I hope you're the best. And you guys have a better record against the Manning guy anyway, so you probably win and you'll go to the Super Bowl, and then we'll see what happens there. But anyway, that's on the other side of music, and that's football. And now that my feelings are out there and I feel better now, my therapist said I should get it off my chest, and I feel better now.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, back to music though. Jack and I we're working on the new album, and it's we're really excited. We got basically have all the songs together and started recording basic tracks. And it's always takes you longer than you want to get it done, but it's shaping up to be a great record.
Well, you got to take that time, do you know?
Is this album going to be Jack Starr and Burning Starr album?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Stand Your Ground is the title.
Okay, that's really
nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
So when are you guys planning for it to come out?
Before this year, definitely. Before the end of the year, and we're hoping we can have everything recorded to mix. Before the summer. That's the our management that they mix it over in Europe. That's what they're hoping we can get it done in that time, which is what we're shooting for.
Right on.
And,
we're gonna have to.
Go ahead, buddy. Good, Bill.
So no,
we're gonna say
shouldn't have any problem getting it out this year.
All right. Do you guys have anything online right now? Any newer stuff online now that people can kind of check out, or just kind of sit and wait and they're like, all right, it's on the way, so we got you some.
No, nothing right now. Just secret links that we passed amongst ourselves to so we can communicate. But not yet. We pretty much. The thing is, we put it all together and they mix it in Europe, so it's not like we're leaking stuff out.
Right.
It's just not complete enough to do. But
do you guys have any ideas of a tour in America of any kind that?
Possibly. We have some areas that we could go to, and we've thought about it. Right now, we're just so wrapped up in trying to get the album done, and we got these shows in Europe. Typically, we'll play a few local warm-up shows here, and and then go over. Which in this case, actually, we'll be coming right back from Europe when we do the 80s in the Park thing, which will be cool.
Right.
But we'll be doing we always do a few shows. Like I said, the Hustler, we usually go there and just do some low-key stuff to get ready, Blues or whatever.
Gotcha.
But we'd like to do some stuff. I mean, me being from New England and spent a lot of my time up in the Mid-Atlantic area, Baltimore, and Jack's from New York. We've talked about it. We could probably go up and do a little run and do pretty well because we're all fairly established in those areas. But plus we can, we've got a lot of good friends in other metal bands in different parts of the country, so we're kind of thinking it'd be nice to do some stuff in New England. Like Steel Assassin. I don't know if you heard of them. I'm friends with those guys. There's, just work with the bands. Mystic Force. Just ideas we've had.
Are you the same bass player in the blues band?
No, I mean I've done some of that with Jack in the past, but
I live right outside of Memphis. I don't know how big the blues thing is right around here. And I didn't know if he was going to maybe come around here with that, the Jack Starr blues thing.
Yeah, I mean it's I did so much blues in the past. I used to wake it up in the middle of the night and have 12 bars in my brain. I just had to get away from it.
And to be honest, and I didn't want to say this to him, I can't stand blues. I love jazz music because it's so.
He heard you.
That's fine. It's just not my thing, dude. You know what?
Thunder.
I'm gonna say it. I don't care. I don't care for blues music. It's just not my thing right there. I mean, it's the same thing over and over again. The same bass riff and it's the same guitar riff with different little solos over it. get some jazz kicking and you can just play and feel it flow.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's more
call it what you want, whatever.
A guitar player and a harp player.
That's fine. I mean, I'm just telling you how I feel, and that's what I mean, I love jazz music, but blues music, I've seen 100 blues bands, and I've seen 90 that are the same, and I've seen 10 that are good.
Yeah.
That's the difference in blues.
I like it.
It's
just the thing is, I just think if I get a tremendous drummer to play with, I can lock in on different styles, which is fun.
That's a different style, yeah, if you've got a good drummer. But if you have an average drummer and a guitar player, yeah, I don't know. There's a difference between good blues and then there's average blues. And average blues, I don't care for. I mean, it's the same thing. It sounds the same to me. It's just repetitive.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
You get metal, and you have runs, and you have differentials in there, and if you have jazz, it changes the whole way through. There's no conformity, 90% of the time. And you get a thrash band, and it's just so fast, it doesn't matter what you play. You play a punk band, and it's just fun. But you get a blues band that's an average blues band, and it's and I'm like, all right, enough's enough.
Yeah. Well, Jack,
we're gonna go ahead and break, and I was gonna play Sands of Time, but now I'm gonna play Blues Tears Falling, which is a blues song, and you're gonna wind up eating your words here. Okay?
No, I won't. Because as I said, a good blues song is a good blues song, but there's way too many average blues out there.
I vote for Sands of Time.
This is way above average. This is amazing. Okay.
Well, okay, and I understand that.
Jack's getting antsy. He wants to play.
Tell him to play it out, man. It's awesome.
All right, play it out. Play a riff. We're gonna go to a break. All right, here's a little Jack live. All right.
Tell him to be
Jack Starr Blues.
I'm just kidding. That's fucking awesome, man.
All right, good talking to you guys. I'm going to
awesome
get
to play with that guy.
That was it.
How awesome is it to play with that guy right there?
What?
I said, how awesome is it to play with that guy?
How long have I been playing
with
him?
How awesome is it? I mean, how does that feel to play with that guy right there? It's like, you know what? I could sit here and just stomp on my E string right now, and they wouldn't even care. He's that good, man. That's awesome, man. He's
a great bass player. He really is. It's really good to play with good people, you know. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, man. Sands of Time. It sounds like a good one. I think I like that song.
Okay, well, we'll do.
We can keep talking while you play.
I do want to play Blue Tears Falling before, like maybe we'll play that one on, after the show's over, like to end the show with. But
yeah, that one ended up on the Out of the Darkness reissue.
I know. I got that one from your record label, and I was surprised to see that one on there.
Cool. Yeah. I put it on there because I thought even though it was blues or bluesy, it still fit in that album.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, of the songs, I had heard some of your stuff, some of your music in the past over the years, but in getting reacquainted with it and everything over the past few days before we booked you for this show, I probably listened to that Blues Tears Falling probably 15 times.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, I loved it. It just it's not blues like Thunder here is talking about, like
right.
No, it's like you're.
What I'm saying is I'm from Memphis, where everybody tries to play the blues, and you have somebody who just plays the same bass riff at every song. They do that little run, and the guitar player does the same thing, that's a totally different thing. If you can play the blues, you play the blues. Like
Right.
B.B. King plays the blues.
He certainly does.
And you can listen to B.B. King all day long, but there's so many bad blues bands that I've gone and seen throughout my years, from the from the age of 18 to 40, that are it's the same thing over and over, and they're trying to do something that you have to have a certain feeling for. And that's all I'm saying is that I've seen a lot of bad blues bands, and that's why I'm not a huge blues fan.
Well,
unless I hear really
you'll
good
like
blues
this.
band.
We'll play it later. We're going to go ahead and go to break. We'll play Sands of Time. But I do have to give a shout out to Lisa Matthews, who's busting my balls on the Facebook page, saying that blues music rocks. I'm the one that's defending it, Lisa.
And look, no, I'm not saying blues music sucks. I'm saying there's a lot of sucky blues players out there.
I'm just busting your balls.
And I know you can bust my balls all you want, and I hate to say that. But I just,
Lisa,
you know what? I'm more of a jazz bass. I like that more that jazz sound to it. Blues is kind of slow to me, and it depends on how it's played. That's all I'm saying.
We're just busting.
That's right.
Balls, not there.
Well, Lisa is my beautiful girlfriend, and she's always right. So I got to say she's right.
Well, then you know what? And you know what, Lisa? I retract everything I've said. You are right. I'll take everything back right now. I apologize. I do. And you know what? Blues is awesome.
That's right. For the most part, but I know where you're coming from when a lot of it doesn't appeal to me, but some of it really appeals to me. So I know where you're coming from. I mean, like Gary Moore appeals to me. Clapton, Hendrix when he was playing the blues, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and then there are guys that they're so timid with their interpretation of the blues that it just doesn't connect to, But then you hear singers like Etta James, who's just phenomenal, and
right. That's the type of music that's good blues. But I've heard so many people that go out there that try and do that.
Right.
And so many local bands, especially there's so many guys out there who turn 50 who have been rock stars.
Right.
In their 20s or whatever, they're like, oh, I'm 50 now, I'm gonna play the blues, and they try and do the doom to doom to doom to doom to doom, and all they can play is a fucking gallop, while the bass player plays this, damn, look, I'm getting so frustrated I can't even talk.
It's all right, son.
He plays a scale while he's playing this, gallop, and I'm like, that's not blues right there.
No, it really isn't. But it's like it's a good point though what you're making about all these guys that start playing blues, after doing metal or whatever. Like take even like Dave from the band Y&T. He put out a blues album, and I actually bought it. I was in a record store, and I just was thumbing through, and it said Dave Meniketti from Y&T solo album. So I figured, well, he was a good metal player. Maybe he could be a good blues player too. But unfortunately, it didn't really, do it for me. I wasn't, blown away by it.
Some people can't transpire. Different styles, Like there's a lot of people who can't play jazz because it's so inconsistent, but it has to be consistent.
Right. Exactly.
I know that sounds stupid to a lot of people, but jazz is inconsistent consistency right there.
Well,
in my opinion, right there.
Well, I got to quote Heike. She's the editor of this magazine out here in Brevard, the county that we live in, and I was like telling her, like, I don't know, like a week ago, like I was one of the judges in this talent contest for like up and coming bands, and I was telling Heike about this new thing that I was putting together with Sybil, who's a great female singer. And I said, "Oh, Heike, you really got to listen to it. I think you're going to like it." And I guess I was trying to get her interested, to hear it. And she just turned around and said, "Jack, you can play anything." And I thought that was really a cool compliment. And I think what she was trying to say was that that I'm pretty diverse. Like I can play all kinds of different styles, And
as a musician, that's awesome.
Yeah, and to me, that's a great compliment because I really can. I mean, I've done a jazz fusion album. I've done a Latin album. I did a country album with Ned called South of Georgia, and that's on the internet. And the singer of that band still performs with South of Georgia, and he goes out and tours. But me and Ned were we were the founders of that band as well. So
you know what?
I really think I could play anything.
This is my first time talking with you and getting to know you. And you know what? That's one thing that me living in Tennessee now, I moved from Florida, Melbourne area, to Tennessee, and there's a big country music scene up here. I mean, you have to be blind not to see that. But me, when I first started out in the bands, Bill was a guitar player, and he was the reverb king, and learned how to play guitar without the reverb. I started out as a singer, which I have obviously a radio voice, but not the kind that, Motley Crue has.
Right.
But I can sing country. And that's something that I've always thought about pursuing because of my deeper voice.
Well, you should definitely think about it. Country's cool. Country music is cool. Latin music is cool. I really honestly like every kind of music. I mean, there's even rap music that I like, I mean, just every kind of music.
I've got a couple of rap songs that I like, but you know what? I get irritated sitting in the car when I'm driving my kids to school and they put too much rap on because, I'm like, look, man, can you just listen to one song that I love right here? One song. Let me put on a little bit of Judas Priest for 1 second.
Absolutely.
You want to hear? Give me something. Give me a minute here. No, I've got a son of mine that was a beach bum in Florida 7 years ago before I moved up here. That now will know we're nothing but jeans and cowboy boots and country music, period. I'm like, but your dad had long hair down to here. Can you listen to one song that has an electric guitar? But it is what it is.
I hear you. I hear you. It's all good.
Let's go. I want to, I want to get, at least one more song in before we wrap it up. Your choice, Jack.
Well, I think that all the stuff that we've done is really good. And honestly, I know it sounds weird, but I pretty much like everything I've ever put out.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean it's. I know it sounds crazy to say that, and the good thing is it's all getting reissued. There's 7 reissues coming out this year from stuff that I did in the past. There's Rock the American Ways coming out with a DVD accompanying it. The Orange album, which was only available in Japan and Germany, that's coming out. There's an album coming out called Before the Steel, The Roots of a Metal Master, that's coming out. The 2 Phantom Lord albums are coming out. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I don't know why, but it seems like, it just seems like, honestly, people are starting to discover me. I guess if you hang around for 35 years, they feel sorry for you, and then they start discovering you.
You're like a fine wine, brother. You're like a fine wine. You just matured,
I mean, I don't know, man. It's good. And then the bad thing is that I look at Ned, and Ned still looks like he's 28 years old. It's like, what the hell is going on, man?
You know what I did?
Ned never gets older.
Look, dude, I know the feeling right here. I just turned 40 this year, but joking around, my kids, I told you, had their tomorrow's a spirit day of school, so I dressed my kid up as this 80s rock guy. Well, I actually put the fucking wig on and put a bandana around my head and took a picture of it that's what I used to look like, but about 30 pounds later. And I'm like, come on, are you fucking kidding me?
I got to lose about 20 pounds. I know where you're coming from.
I'm getting bald. I'm getting bald. I'm like, I can still play the guitar.
Exactly, but playing music makes you lose weight, so I can't wait to go back on tour because just the excitement and the whole thing of touring and playing out every night, you lose weight. You lose weight.
You know what, man?
Yeah.
Is there any? Plug it out there. How can people get your music, man? Tell them to get on YouTube.
Everywhere. It's really everywhere,
there you go.
It's everywhere. I mean, it's on pretty much every place that sells records over the internet, from Amazon to Barnes and Nobles to Best Buy to every place. It's there. I mean, all you got to do is Google Jack Starr, Out of the Darkness,
man.
which is the new one, and And a lot of stores actually have it. But, you know, what's going to happen is when you walk into a record store, the record stores that are remaining, you know, you're not going to see a gigantic cutout cardboard,
Right.
6-foot tall Jack Starr. You know, it's not going to happen. But if you do look in the S section or in the J section and you spend like 4 or 5 minutes looking, you probably can find a copy. It's there.
Well, guess what?
I was in my mall. I was in my mall the other day, man, and I found me, and I was happy.
There you go, man.
And if it's not there, wait, it's in the computer, which means that you can order.
And tell them to get that son of a bitch in there. You know,
What?
Jack, it's been a pleasure having you on our show, man.
Well,
you're the real deal, man. And
I loved it, and
dude,
Ned is still playing in the background. Hold on, Ned.
I know, I hear him, man. I've heard him playing for the last 15 minutes, man.
He's still playing it.
Tell him, man, I love it, man.
Let's break.
All right, we're going to get back to our
Bill,
rehearsal.
how much time we got left?
It's 11.
Well, play whatever you want, man. We're going to get back to our rehearsal.
Let's rock
and we
this
want to
out,
just
man.
tell you it was a pleasure being on your show.
All right.
You know what, man?
Thank you for
Jack,
being on.
man, I appreciate you being there. Can we talk to Dad one more time?
All right, man. And as I sign all my letters, keep the metal burning.
That's right. Keep the metal burning right there, man.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Hey, can I talk to Dad one more time?
Okay, wait. Here's Ned again. Okay.
Hey, great talking to you guys.
Hey, Ned, man. Keep that shit together, man. Be the foundation, man. Love you, man.
All right, man. We'll catch you next time around.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you being on the show, man. Anything you need. I mean, anytime you guys want to get on the air, do whatever you guys want to do, man. Just let us know, all right?
All right, thanks for having us. We'll have to catch back up with you once the album comes out.
Absolutely.
All right,
definitely want to come for that.
Let us know how things go. Get with us after this thing in Melbourne. If we're not down there, get back in touch with us and let us know how that Melbourne thing went with the big show you guys got at Wickham Park.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, man. I
We'll be
appreciate
in
it.
touch. Okay. Talk to you later. Thanks.
All right, bye.
Bye.
What's up there, William?
Oh, not much.
That was a pretty good interview right there. What do you think right there?
Yeah, I had fun. We might want to have people, guests call in at 11 instead of 10:30. But
well, you know what? No, actually, this gives us a little time right now to overview everything that we heard right there. And I think that actually was a great interview.
I had fun too. I mean, people were commenting on the Facebook page. The girl the lady that we found out was Jack's girlfriend, Lisa. She commented. Also, Sybil, the singer that he's working with now, she commented as well. So we're gonna dissect this, on the air, and we'll just
You know what?
Go ahead.
This is where, what we were talking about going to, and me and you have talked for weeks about how we were going to get this to transition the way we want it to. And having somebody that we both didn't really know as well as we should have became a really good guest.
Absolutely.
We're Ned, fantastic on the radio. And the same thing with Jack Starr, and from them being in the area that we're from, that kind of helped things out a little bit. But you know what? It had a lot musically, where we had a lot to talk about. So I really think that the idea of our new design of heading to that direction of talking to a musician, I think it really panned out.
I liked it. I had fun. I'm sure Jack did too. It's going to be interesting to see the numbers when they come out.
And you know what? And right now, I'm not worried about the numbers.
We had a lot of.
Yeah.
We had several people in the chat room. There's no telling how many people were actually listening, but not in the chat room. So I mean, I like it. I mean, it's a brilliant show with the direction that we want to go.
I think so as well. All right, so now we got
right
about
now,
30 minutes left.
Well, let's just go ahead and wrap it up. I'm gonna play Sands of Time, and let's just
We're not gonna
go ahead.
Go ahead and play Sands of Time, and we'll come back on the air after that.
Okay, we can do that.
All right, so this is another song from
Jack Starr. Oh God.
Hello? Are you there?
All right, this is Sands of Time.
Was that good? Was that good?
Huh?
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, well, that was my attempt at trying to make it sound like I didn't forget the name for a second. Anyway, no. Go ahead and play another song from Jack Starr, and then we'll come back and we got 30 minutes, and we'll talk a little bit more about music.
All right, we'll do that. Here's Sands of Time.
to you guys next week, all right?
And
all right, William, you ready to call us a day?
We're going to close out with Blue Tears Falling because you're giving our guest hell about blues and everything. I'm going to.
No. I gave a true aspect about blues. Shut your mouth, then. You know I'm right. There's a lot of horrible blues players.
Like I said,
okay, all right.
Listen to this. Okay?
Real good blues. All right. This is Jack Starr playing some real blues. You know.
Yeah, we're gonna take it out with this.
All right, buddy. I love you, man.